Good morning, everybody. Sub-Ohm Clouds here. I've been getting a lot of requests to make a video on how I build, what type of builds that I use, so the type of wires that I use, everything. So I'm going to do a video for you guys this morning. I'm going to rebuild one of my mods. What I'm going to be building on today is the Chi clone and the IGo-W4. So yeah, nothing else really to say. Let's get to it. Alright, so today we're going to be doing a center post build with 24 gauge Canthal. What you're going to want is to get you a piece of Canthal about 4.5, 5 inches long, and you're going to need to oxidize it. Some people don't oxidize it until they wrap the coil and put it on the mod. Me personally, I like to torch them and get them oxidized before I do my wrapping, because basically for me it just makes it a little bit more easier to wrap. Makes it more pliable. You don't need anything fancy. You know, I got this Brenzomatic torch from Home Depot for like $10, and you know, the Brenzomatic fluid for like $3. Nothing fancy, nothing, you know, anything like that. Alright, so I'm going to just torch it. I generally do 2 passes. I generally get it really red hot, going up one side, and then I'll come back down the other side. And I'll do that on both of my pieces of Canthal. This is my first video building, by the way, so if you can't see anything, I apologize. I'm using my iPad because my laptop is a piece of shit, and I don't have a camera. So I'm hoping that you can see all this, because if I do this entire build and y'all can't see it, I'm going to be pissed. But you should be able to see it. Go. Now, keep in mind, this is how I build my dual coils, okay? So I'm not doing anything different than what I do when I'm building personally without doing a video, okay? So everything that you see here, if you can see these tools, you know, is the same stuff that I use when I'm building coils for myself. Nothing's changed, nothing's different. Alright, let's bend this out, make that even, straight rather. Alright, this screwdriver right here is what I use to wrap my coils on. I don't know exactly how big it is. The air holes on my caps are 1/8, and as you can see, the air hole is slightly bigger, so you know, a centimeter smaller than that or a millimeter smaller than that. I don't know, 7/64, I don't know. I was never good with the metric system or whatever system it is. Alright, so what I do is I put it right up against the metal part right here. Alright, and I leave a leg about 1 inch long because I'm going to be trimming that back. And I just wrap, alright? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boom. Pull that end over. Alright? Now, when you look at it, you can tell you got a pretty decent coil right there. It's nothing fantastic, you know, but it's pretty decent. And it's only going to get better whenever we torch it. Again. Alright, so we're going to do the other one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright. Okay. Now we're going to go back over to the torch. Alright. We're going to get this red hot. Make sure you have a pair of pliers or a pair of tweezers. Alright. And we're just going to clamp down on it. Gently. And just hold it until it cools down. And there you have a perfectly uniform microcoil. We'll do this one again, just because I feel like it. No reason in particular. There we go. And for the other one. Alright, so there you have it. 2 perfect microcoils. If you can see that, there you go. Perfect microcoils. Alright, now I'm just going to pull this leg down just a little bit, even out that coil. There we go. And we're going to clip one leg, the long leg, or the lead leg, whatever. And we're going to do the same to this one. Now, when it comes to center post builds, everybody's got their own way of doing it. I actually do it a couple different ways. One way is where I'll actually take my time and I'll bend the legs out, and I'll match them just perfectly. It really doesn't matter, And then the other way is I'll just take the coil and I'll put it on the screwdriver, and I'll mount the post, and I'll just push it until it centers up with the coil, with the coil, until it centers up with the center post. There's really no science to it. You know, it doesn't really matter. From what I've experienced, it really doesn't matter how you get the center post in the middle, or the coil in the center post, as long as it's there. You're still going to be getting great airflow. You're still going to be getting, good resistance. So just for time's sake, that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to mount them and I'm going to push them over. Okay. This coil's being funny. Now we should be able to work with it. Come on. There we go. Now, just like I was saying, okay, you're just going to want to put that coil or that screwdriver on the opposite end of the coil that you're going to be pushing, right? And then you're just going to push, all right? And there you have a centered coil, all right? Now, you don't want to tighten down that negative lead yet, okay? Because you're going to have to move the coil around so that you can get the legs out of the way of the coil. There you go. Now we have a dual center coil build. Right, I'm just going to pull these coils a little bit closer to the center post. Right, now you're going to want to tighten down these leads. I generally like to hold the screwdrivers in place, that way it kind of just keeps the coils where they're supposed to be. Now you don't want to torque down too much on these leads because they will snap. You just want to tighten down just a little bit. I mean, tight enough to where you feel there's going to be a good connection, but not too tight to where the leads are going to snap. Alright, there we go. And there you have a nice center post build. Let's just clip these off. I know some people that will actually take and twist the leads off until they snap off inside the post. You can do that. It doesn't really matter. I prefer to snip them. And then once I snip them, I just take a pair of tweezers and I just bend the legs up to where they touch the post. Because you don't want any type of metal touching those coils, because you'll create a short and your coils will pop. You'll get hot legs, and it's a bitch to get them out. Alright, and there you have a beautiful 24 gauge 5 wrap center post dual coil build. Alright, now when I put the top cap on, you're going to be able to see that they align perfectly with the air hole. I don't know if you can see that, but they line up pretty good with the air holes, dead center. Alright, let's wick it. Now, when it comes to wicking, there is some builds where I'll use a silica wick and do a cotton build. This one I'm just going to do a cotton build. Cotton because I have about 2 inches of silica left. I'm just going to do a cotton wick. We're done with all this so we can move it out of the way. Alright. Now cotton, the cotton that I use is Walmart brand cotton. It's nothing special. I don't boil it. I don't dry it and boil it and dry it and boil it and dry it and boil it. I don't use organic cotton. I use Walmart brand cotton, you know, and you know, people say, oh, well, aren't you worried that you're going to be inhaling stuff that, you know, is in it? You know what? Not really, to be honest with you. Okay, I'm gonna do one side. Now y'all saw how I did that. Basically, just gonna take your cotton and it's a little too much here, and just twist it. And then feed it through. You don't want to just put one in and then pull it through, because you're going to run the risk of ripping the cotton apart and you'll have to start over. So just take it, like hold one end and twist the other end, and it just feeds right through. It's a thing of beauty. You don't want the cotton too tight inside the coil, because then the cotton won't wick. It won't go through. It won't wick through the coil. But you don't want it too loose, because then it's gonna dry really fast. So you want it to where it's tight, but just enough room to where you can move it around. Okay? Now, let's just clip a little bit of these ends off right here. I don't clip too much, because I like to use a lot of cotton. Alright? Just use this little bitty screwdriver for glasses, and I just tuck the ends. Just tuck them underneath the coil. Push them all the way back to the posts. Take that in, tuck it down. Take this in. Boom. There you go. Perfect. Beautiful. Let's check what she's reading. 0.26. It's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's the general area I like to stay in, between 0.20 and 0.26. You know, well, 0.24 really. You know, but it is what it is. Can't get perfect all the time. It's still a really good build. No, I didn't put it on the mod to test fire it. A lot of people do. I particularly, you know, I've been building for a little bit, you know, so I've gotten to the point where I know my builds, I know how I build, and I know how it's going to fire. So let's juice her up. Alrighty. This juice that I'm using today is made by a personal friend of mine. It's called Arresto's Gravy. It's by Boca Vapes in Boca Raton, Florida. If you're in the South Florida area and you need a place to get some really good e-juice, Boca Vapes, B-O-C-A Vapes in Boca Raton, Florida. Awesome juices. Kevin and April are the owners. Tell them that Drew, aka Sub-On Clouds, sent you. Alright? So let's juice her up. I'm gonna let that soak in a little bit. You want to make sure you get the cotton nice and saturated. You don't want any wet cotton, because when you first fire it, if there's any dry cotton on it, you're gonna burn that cotton and you're gonna have to start all over. Alright, let's see how she fires. Boom. Nice. Fog machine right there. Alright guys. Let's take a toke. Alright, so let's try it out and see how it vapes. Oh, popped me in the face. That was hot. Beastly. Alright guys, thank you so much for checking out my channel. Be sure to subscribe, check me out, spread the word, Sub-On Clouds. Follow me on Instagram if you're not following me. Peace out, vape and love.